Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we are going to use a technique called frequency separation. We are going to separate the colors and the texture on this photo. So the first thing, we are going to duplicate our photo. One of them will be color, the other one will be texture. This one is the color. For the color one, we are going to the filters and we will add the Gaussian blur. What we are trying to do here is to remove the texture from this picture. We only want to keep the colors. So click on some places that has a lot of texture, and then you are going to increase the blur until the texture disappears. Just like this. Click on other places and make sure that the texture is not there. Okay, I think like this is good. We'll keep it 8.9 and we can name this color. Let's rename it to the color, and then we will go to the texture. For the texture, we only want to keep the texture and remove the color. For that, I'm going to the image and then apply the image. We want to remove the color, so we are going to change the layer to the color, and we want to subtract the color from it. Make the channel RGB and blending mode will be subtract. And for the opacity, scale and offset, make sure that you have similar to mine. Okay? And now change the blending mode for the texture to the linear light. And if we enable the color layer, we have something like this. Guys, the whole purpose of this process is to separate the texture and the color so we can work on them separately. For example, in the next step, we are going to work with the color. We are going to reconstruct the face and give it a brand new skin tone. Now I group the color and the texture together, and when you hide it, you will see there is no difference between the original photo and this photo. And this means that we separated our photo successfully. Now we want to create a new color scheme to this lady. So for that, we are going to create a new layer. I will make this just to demonstrate. So what we are going to do, we will use the brush tool on this layer. We will get the color from this area and paint over it, just like this. This process is just like sculpting. We are going to recreate the face. We will be making the face better. So just like this, you will just get your color from this area and paint over it. And by the way, I'm telling you, this is just for the demonstration. We are going to remove this layer. Remove it. And now you will create a new one, new empty layer, put it over the color because you are going to affect only the color, not the texture. So now for the flow, make it 3 and the opacity will be 100. Then press I and B to move between the eyedrop and the brush. So for each area, we will press I to get the color and then press B to paint over it. Just like this. Something that I forgot to tell you about the eyedrop, the sample area, if you go to the eyedrop, the sample area should be 5 by 5 average. So by this it will get the color from the surrounding, not only from one pixel. As you can see, my scratch disk is full. I'm going to clean it and get back to you. Okay, I am back already. I hope now that you understand the process. We will get the color from an area and then paint over it, just like sculpting. By the way, just to remind you, you can control the size and the hardness of your brush by pressing and hold on the Control and Alt together, and then moving your mouse up and down for the hardness, and left and right for the size. Now you'll go ahead and sculpt the face all over again. We will just get the color, press I to get the color, press B for the brush, and paint over it like this. And we will do this for all of the areas. We will simply create a brand new skin for this lady. I'm going to speed up the process a bit. You can watch me doing it, or you can skip it and work on your own. But if you want to know how exactly the process is for me, you can watch me doing it. Now you will do these areas. I'll just get the color from it and paint over it. Let's do this area as well. Let's do the eyes. You may not see a lot of difference when you're painting like this now, but at the end when you watch it, you will see that you made a huge difference. See, you already changed a lot. Now let's go to the other side of the face and work on this one. Let's do this area as well. For this one we get the color from this area, and for this one we get the color from this area. In the process you may need to change the size of your brush for some areas. For example, areas like this. Let's see what changes we have made. Okay, very good. Now let's increase the size of the brush and get the color and paint over this area, and then I will do it for this area. I made the brush smaller for this area. Now let's check again. Now the face is much better, but there is a lot that we need to work on. I'm going to continue and work on the face again. Make sure that you select the layer, and you're going to increase the size for the brush, something like this, and then we will get the color and paint over it like this. I'm going to go over all of the face and we will basically resculpt it. The process is all the same, that's why I'm going to speed it a bit. Let's do it for this chick. Get the color from this area and paint over it. Get the color from this area and paint over it. For this area as well. Let's do it for this area. Get the color. Make sure that the layer is selected. Okay, this one. Get the color and paint over it. For this area as well. Let's do it for this side. Let's go to the eyes. I'll get the color from this area and then paint over this area. Get the color from this area and now we can paint over it like this. Let's do it for this eye as well. Let's do under the eye. Let's do this area. So guys, it's all the same, like the process is the same. You will basically paint a new face. I mean, not the face, the skin. As you can see, we've came a long way. Let's continue working on it. Let's work a bit more on the forehead. By the way guys, I did the forehead and I didn't record it. I'm sorry for that. You can go ahead and do the forehead. The process is similar. Now let's paint over the lips. Perfect. The skin is looking perfect. There are a lot of other stuff that we need to work on to make this portrait looking good. Now let's work on this area a bit more. Let's do it for the other side as well. And like this, we created a brand new skin for this lady. Let's just hide it and see. Now let's select all of these together, right click, then merge it. Just like this, you have our lady with a brand new skin. And this is not the end. In the next lesson, you are going to cover the Dutch unburning. See you there.